Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So if you are new to this channel, my name is Harish. I am currently doing my final MBBS in a government medical college from Tamil Nadu. So every one of us would have dreamt of becoming a doctor at some point of our life, especially during our childhood time. When someone asks, what's your ambition? We would proudly say that I want to become a doctor, and some majority people used to say I want to become an engineer. Or IAS or a chartered accountant or pilot, etc. But now things have changed. Now the students are getting exposed to lots of other things. They are upgrading their own skills and they are clear about their goals. But during my school time, those were the popular courses and those were the famous degree that every single Indian parents wants their children to do. And unfortunately, I was one among the children. So in this video, I'm going to share my honest journey into MBBS. Okay, how everything started and how I overcame my obstacles and how manifestation luck played an important role and how I approached my NEET, etc. So this is going to be more like my personal story. So if you are a NEET aspirant, this video may be helpful for you. So before getting into the video, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon. So let's gear up and get into the video. So during my school time, I used to be a kid who is good at studies but doesn't want to study at all. Okay, most of us would relate to this thing. Actually, I was never interested at studies at all, but you know what? Both of my parents were teachers, so there is no way that I could escape from studies. My mom used to beat me and scold me to study, and up to the age of 14, I really never had any goals or ambitions or passion in my life. The only thing I was interested on was playing computer games. Man, those were the golden days. So it was my 10th standard when our class teacher told us to fill that ambition column in our progress report. I need to write something, right? So there used to be a pediatrician in our area, and I used to go to him for every health related problems, and subconsciously I got inspired by him and I developed a sense of curiosity about that whole medicine and stethoscope thing. And it was my mom's dream to become a doctor. She is good at studies, but she couldn't able to do it due to personal reasons. So I did a math. LHS is called RHS. So I decided, let's become a doctor. Believe me, it was totally like that. And as days went on, I gradually developed a sense of responsibility about my career and my goals and my studies. And I did my 10th standard well and took a biomax group. And my parents put me in one of the top residential schools in Tamil Nadu. So up to that point of my life, everything was going smooth. And in our school, they used to start their 12th portion earlier in 11th standard itself. And to note her, it was not a quiet school. So during my 12th standard, our school used to pick top students from every classrooms and put them in a single classroom. And our friends used to call it as a topper class. I really hate that, and unfortunately I was put in that class because I did well in my yearly initial exams. So after that, everything in my life started to stumble. So at the beginning of my 12th grade, I had a heartbreak. Okay, I can't say it's a heartbreak because I never knew this word that time, but there happened an incident which completely shattered me because it was my mistake, and I felt it was not the right age to face those things because I was not mature enough to handle that sadness, that emotional pain, that personal loss and guilty conscience. I thought I would be normal within a few weeks, but it didn't happen. That pain and that personal sufferings slowly started to consume me, and I literally hated myself at that point. On the other hand, there was too much of academic pressure on me because I was in a highly competitive environment where every one of my peers wants to become a doctor. Everyone were running their own race. They were ambitious and they were smarter and more talented than me, and they were striving hard to achieve their goals. But I couldn't able to do anything. I couldn't able to concentrate on my studies because of these personal stuff, and I slowly developed inferiority complex and self-doubts, and I was constantly dwelling on my past. While everyone were running their own race, I was stuck. I was depressed, I was mentally alone, and at that point I completely lost myself. I didn't want to study either, and I was at the verge of giving up on my goals, the goal of becoming a doctor. And few months went, and then I decided that I should give myself a second chance. I told myself, bro, enough is enough. It's time that you should pull yourself up and put yourself back into the race. You should prove yourself. Because I realized the only thing that going to matter after 5 years was my dreams and my future. And I knew if I didn't work for that dream, I would probably regret for lifelong. So I tried to channelize every one of my energy into that goal. So I took a paper and I wrote every single goal that I wanted to achieve in that point of my life. I wrote the target percentage that I want to achieve in my board exams, my strength, my weakness, my favorite motivational quotes, everything in different papers, and I pasted it all over my wall. So whenever I see that wall, that used to remind me that my goals are bigger and I have to work hard for that. And I started to visualize myself with white apron and a stethoscope around neck, and seeing my parents smiling at me. I imagine this scene every single day before starting my study session. Okay, it's a part of manifestation, because if you think of something constantly and if you believe in something constantly, automatically all your actions, your emotions, your mindset will shift towards that goal. It's basically a law of attraction. And I molded myself to study harder for a longer period of time. And I maintained an average duration of almost 6 hours every single day apart from my school timing. And at that point, our government didn't give enough clarity about NEET examination. They didn't say whether the MBBS admission will be purely based on NEET or based on board exam mark, or it's a combination of both. We were in a double mind, and we were forced to prepare for both the things simultaneously. But I thought I should focus on my board exams first, because I knew that I can write a NEET exam for second time, but there was no second attempt for my board exams. So after all that hard work, after all that study sessions, I gave my board exams and it really went well. And then came the biggest obstacle, the NEET. And literally I had only 1 month to prepare for my NEET, and I didn't join any other coaching classes, because our school itself conducted a crash course by collaborating with other institutions. And they conducted a mock test to give orientation about NEET. You know what? I just scored 5 marks out of 100. That was the time I understood the reality of the NEET examinations. Okay, most of the questions were so conceptual, and most of the questions were directly from NCERT books, which I found difficult to crack or to solve. I was hopeless. I lost all my motivation, but I didn't give up. That faith in my goal, that belief in my goal, pushed me to give my best. So I borrowed NCERT books and I did biology with a span of 20 days. I read from page to page, and I did some question banks in physics and chemistry, and I approached my NEET exam, because at that time my primary goal was to pass the examination, to be on the safer side. So I did my biology well, and I attend less than 10% of the questions in chemistry, because I don't want to attend the questions that I was not sure of, because I knew the consequences of negative marking. And my board exam results came. I scored around 97% in my board and scored 70 percentile, okay, not percentage, in my NEET exam, which was not great. It was below average, but at least I passed the NEET examinations. So I did all my work from my side. Now it was up to my government to say how the admission process was going to be like. I personally want admission to be based on board exam mark, because I really did hard work for that exams. But lots of politics happened, and our government said the admissions will be completely based on NEET marks, and they will not consider our board marks. They released the rank list, and I did some calculations, and there was no way that I would get a medical seat in a government college for my rank. That's it. Okay, all my dreams were shattered. I was crying the whole day, and some of my friends went on and took engineering, and I was preparing to take a drop because I was so stubborn with my goal, and I knew I can't afford a private college. I was crying because I realized that all my hard works went in vain. Okay, all that early morning, all that mental stress didn't pay off. Actually, I gained 15 kilogram of weight in single year. Okay, that was the amount of stress and the lifestyle I had. I was waiting for a miracle to happen. So the next day, the counseling board released a notification regarding the number of seats for each community, and surprisingly, the total number of seats were increased by 10%, and there were some extra seats from sports quota and handicap quota. And they released a rank range and a mark range, and the students between those range have high probability to get into the government medical college. And you know what? I made into that list. My previous calculation was wrong. Even if I have got 5 or 4 marks shorter, I wouldn't have made into that list. It may be a luck or it may be a God's grace, but I believe I earned that luck. And finally, I got a seat in a government medical college. And I remember that day when I wore my apron and a stethoscope around my neck, and my parents were smiling at me. The scene that I imagined every single day during my preparation phase has become a reality. When I became the first person in my entire family generation to get a medical seat, that's when I realized the power of dreams. Okay, it was my journey, but every single medical student out there has their own story of struggles and hardships. But all we did was believing in our dreams and never giving up on our dreams. It was 4 years ago, but now things have changed. Now the competitions are high, and now students should score around 500 marks to get a guaranteed medical seats. And it's okay, don't give up. As long as you are believing in your dreams, you will definitely make it. You may be struggling now, or you may have faced failures or a heartbreak, or you may be in your darkest phase of your life, but believe me, those are not permanent. Okay, those are meant to happen because those were the things that helps you to mold yourself. And always remember, give yourself a number of chances. We human tends to make mistakes. That doesn't make us a bad person or a wrong person. If I hadn't given myself a second chance that time, I wouldn't have become a medical student. I would have settled for something less, and I might be doing some other degree. It was my heartbreak that made me to realize that I should chase my dreams. It was that competitive environment that molded me. It was that faith and belief in my goals that made me to crack my NEET. Always have that burning fire and burning desire in your heart. You are your biggest supporter and you are your biggest enemy. So always learn to fight yourself. And we definitely need a bit of luck to achieve our goals. I strongly believe in that, but you should put your hard work to earn that luck. I was not a very spiritual person, but as long as you are staying true to yourself and to your dreams, the universe will definitely guide you. Everyone has a different timeline, so please be patient. Your time will definitely come. You will definitely become what you think. Ennam pollan valkai. So thanks for watching this video. If you really love this content, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon and give me a thumbs up. So signing off with a smile.